The plan is simple. Enter the auction as a merchant wishing to bid on exotic artifacts. We know they want the hairpin, and we know they will be at the auction. They already let it slip through their fingers once.
Hello and welcome to Easy Allies Assassin's Creed Mirage preview. I am your host, Michael Huber, joined by Bradley Ellis.
Hello.
And I had the privilege and the honor to play about 3 hours, maybe like two and a half.
Okay.
You know, the whole process was probably like 3 hours, but I played probably like 2.5 hours.
A good chunk, though.
Of Assassin's Creed Mirage. I played it remotely. Get that out of the way at the top right here, right now. Played it remotely, which means I was at my house and they streamed it to me. So when I was playing, you know, it just didn't look as good as it could look, you know, but I saw the hard copy of the B-roll and it looked way better. Blood was joking around because he does the same thing and it's like, oh, that's what the game should look like. Oh, it looks amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did streamed it and, you know, little control issues. So kind of a little trickier environment to play the game in. So just getting that out of the way. Assassin's Creed is back, Brad. As you know, I would say I'm a super fan.
Yeah, I would say so.
I am a super duper fan of this franchise. Modern day storyline, past storyline, all the storylines, all the DLCs. The only ones I haven't finished are like 2 of the DS ones. There's like an Altair one, and like a Ezio one. That's the only ones.
Okay.
Played all the DLCs, every game. I cannot get enough of Assassin's Creed. Can you believe that it's been 3 years since we've had a full Assassin's Creed game?
Yeah, wow.
Valhalla was in 2020. Of course, we had multiple DLCs, multiple free DLCs. There was a really cool one where Cassandra came into Valhalla, and then Eivor went into Odyssey. So they added Odyssey DLC in there a little somewhere, which was really cool. But Assassin's Creed Mirage is going back to its roots, and this time we're playing as Basim in 9th century Baghdad. This is a few decades before Valhalla. So, you know, if you played Valhalla, Basim is a character that shows up in a I would say a large supporting role.
He's in the game.
He's in the game, and this is his kind of origin story. And then of course his mentor Roshan as well. She showed up in like a DLC quest in Valhalla somewhere along the lines. Yeah, Roshan, exactly.
Like Dota?
Yeah, like Dota, exactly.
Whoa.
Yeah. Voiced by Ava Sarala of The Expanse fame. But I say it's going back to its roots because, you know, they've been saying that. This is the horn.
Yeah, what does that even mean?
Exactly. This is the horn Ubisoft has been blowing for years now, because coming off of Origins, Odyssey, and Valhalla back to back to back, those were 3 of the biggest open world games ever made. Just gigantic, you know, 100-hour campaign, huge like skill trees, leveling up, RPG elements, all this stuff. This, they said the whole game is going to be 20 to 30 hours, depending if you want to do everything.
That's still a lot of game, too.
Yeah. Smaller environment, still pretty big, but sizable, they said, to like the Revelation style map.
Cool.
And more of an emphasis on stealth.
Thank God.
And linearity.
Thank God.
Thank God, Brad. And of course, that was one of the first things I did, was like, okay, let's test this shit out. Let's test this stealth. And, you know, it was early, and like I said, streaming it and just not knowing all of my toolkit and kind of jumping around in the plot like multiple parts instead of having that like slow...
The natural build.
The natural onboarding. I will say, though, that some of those combat encounters got pretty tricky.
Okay.
You know, it felt like I had to retreat.
Good.
There's a parry and a dodge. You run out of stamina pretty quickly. You gotta like cool out. You know, you can't just mash it out. And enemies just kept on coming. It felt like an alarm would go off, more would come. I just felt like more under pressure instead of like Eivor, just everyone's dead, boom, boom, boom.
So hold on a second. You said enemies just kept coming. Is it like...
That's what it just...
Okay.
It wasn't a limited respawn, no.
Were they actually a limited respawn?
It was not a limited respawn.
Okay.
But, I would think I would like clear 2 guys, and then like, oh, here 2 more come, and it's just like, dude, where are these guys coming from right now?
Okay.
And so yeah, it just felt like it was pushing back, Brad, because like when I would try to mash, I would either run out of stamina, or they would block really well.
Okay.
And then when they would go for an attack, they have like poise, dude. Like I would not break their attack, and then they would hit me, and I would take like not like huge damage, but noticeable damage. It was like, take some hits, and it'd be like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm bleeding out here.
Yeah.
So it felt good. It felt threatening. Again, it's really like this opinion could change.
Yeah,
full 180, but
just from what you played.
Just from what I played, getting thrown into it and the situation, it was like, okay, this is pretty tricky. You know, again, coming from someone who in Origins, Odyssey, and Valhalla would just run into a base, shred everyone because it was encouraged and more efficient and quicker. Like just straight up.
Yeah.
So, the stealth was so fun, and it was just like, it was encouraging stealth, 1, because like I said, the combat encounter was more intense, and then 2, because one of the big like set pieces I played was go down to the docks, take this guy out who stole your buddy's tea or something, or you have to like take him out, and you know, you had to sneak around, you had to find him. This was a heavily armed base. There's a lot of people around. So you got to like sneak in one at a time, pick them off. So like the mission itself was like, okay, this is a stealth mission. Sneak in, find your target. That was kind of like a mini main mission. And then the main big set piece was finding your big priority target. You don't know who they are.
Okay.
You don't know what they look like. So you have to go into the bazaar and basically pick up these little, not odd jobs, but like these little sub objectives to give you more information about who your target is.
Like eavesdrop on something to hear about them.
Exactly. Sit on a bench. You eavesdrop, the classic sitting on the bench and eavesdropping. Doing a mission for somebody that might have information. They're like, hey, you do this for me? Like, you know, I heard something about that. Let me. So yeah, so you're encouraged to like go into this space.
Yeah, so it wasn't like, here, you find your target. Let me just use my bird and highlight real quick. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So for the docks one, Brad, you could totally do that. And it was on me for not fully knowing how to use the bird. But again, stealth encouraged. When I finally realized, oh, my bird, of course. When I finally summoned the bird, Archer took it out. Boom. So then, what do you want to do? You want to stealth in and take that Archer out. Just little things like that.
What happens when your bird goes down?
I think it's on a cooldown.
Okay.
Yeah. Or like, flies away. It's like, oh, I can't do that yet. Like, yeah.
Okay.
Because they had that in Valhalla, you know, the archers for taking out the bird. But again, you're just so strong in that game. Exactly. Whereas again, in this, took a couple hits, would go down. You still have your potions. But my inventory, I only had 1. And I remember in Valhalla, you had like 6 really early on. So who knows? Like, I hope they keep that limited. I hope maybe if you do side quests, you can expand that.
Guaranteed, yeah.
But like, make that meaningful, make it worth it. I really want that good balance there. I will say, Brad, in the open combat, it felt a little OP. The parry, when you do get it, it would open up an instant kill.
Right.
Which was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But again, combat a little trickier. Fully plated armor guys coming in.
Okay.
I go up to him and I just start, and it's like no damage whatsoever. So you gotta like fall back, shoot no, I didn't have a bow. I had throwing knives. Would throw a knife on their foot.
Oh, that's funny.
They would go down.
Then you could do
open up vulnerabilities. Boom, take them out.
Okay.
So it was like, okay, I had to do something a little different here in open combat. And again, if like a couple of those heavy armor guys are coming at you, other people, people shooting you from a distance, it can get pretty.
Cool.
Yeah. So eavesdrop, whatever. Find then that. So I'm in the main mission and I do those submissions, and then it's like, okay, the auction is starting that your target is going to be at and wants this thing. So that's like scripted, obviously. It's like triggered cutscene or whatever. But here's the really cool thing, dude. Economy. Economy.
Okay.
You're at the auction. You want to get this thing that you know the target wants. you have a chance to bid on it.
Uncharted 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Uncharted 4, Brad. Hell yeah. You have an option to bid on it. It was 150 coins. I only had 50.
Okay, cool.
So, I mean, who knows? You'll probably have unlimited cash when you play that game, but it was like in that moment.
Yeah, I guess that's one thing I wanted from the game is you have this objective, but there's multiple ways to go about it.
Yes.
Like, you could just buy that maybe.
Yep. So you
Instead
could
of just having to, like, stab them.
Exactly. So you could buy it, which I couldn't afford. So then some other person won, a random person won it, not the target. So the random person won it, and then you have to go steal it from them.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, adding a little extra step here,
That's cool.
like, yeah. So, and like retaining some of that like role playing
Yeah.
stuff from the older games. So then you take your device or the thing you have, and then you meet with the target.
Kill
And then, yeah. And then, of course, you can surmise what happens there.
A thing I always have Assassin's Creed, so I'm curious how it is here. Every time I play Assassin's Creed, I always feel like my character does something I don't want them to do when I'm platforming. How did it feel this time around? Did it feel a little tighter?
It does feel tighter. It happened once, though, where I wanted to jump left and I jumped down into the right. That's I feel like it's always going to be there. But it felt good. They had the classic kick the rope up.
Yeah.
The
all that
swing
fun
on the
stuff.
pots, all the parkour. It felt really, really nice. But there was once where I was like, oh,
Sure.
which is like par for the course on
Sure.
Assassin's Creed, I feel like.
Let's talk about weapons. What did you use in it?
Just a classic blade, like
Just
a
a sword?
sword. You have like a sword
Okay.
and a knife thing, and
okay.
and then got the hidden blade,
Yeah.
of course.
Did they say anything about like different weapons or stuff like that?
Nah,
Maybe not yet.
yeah, not that I saw. The skill tree seemed pretty chill, but
Okay.
like again, I didn't really like dive into that.
It's super early.
Yeah, and they were like, okay, well, you're gonna be in an open, like, there's a guy like idling in Discord helping me out, and he's like, hey, because of time, we're gonna put you on the open world here, but like you shouldn't do any side quests. So
Okay.
I just went,
Got it.
boom,
Sure.
straight main missions.
Okay.
Optional people to talk to. That would actually have interesting conversations like with Basim that, just about life and what's going on. Like, oh, hey, Basim, like, little small talks if you want to really get into the world.
Sure.
Trying to think what else, man. That was pretty much it.
Yeah.
Just did open combat, little assassination action.
I guess as like a super fan, how are you feeling about this one?
I'm feeling so good, Brad. I'm so optimistic.
Do you think I'll enjoy this more?
I absolutely do.
Okay.
I absolutely do because it's just smaller, more focused. I mean, when you're staring down the barrel of a 100-hour Assassin's Creed Valhalla,
Which I beat.
Which you
but
beat,
it
of
was just
course.
long.
You're caught up, dude. Yeah. But like, that shit starts to drag,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah. I definitely felt dragged.
Like, this is a game I feel like it will not wear out its welcome.
So do you? Hard to say because you've barely played it, but do you
Yeah.
think people who look back fondly at 2,
Yes.
at that era of Assassin's Creed, will feel more comfortable here?
I really do.
Okay.
I am that optimistic here, Brad, because again, it's just the length. It's Basim as the main character is a really good fit. Like, I wonder how they're gonna handle the main narrative or the modern day stuff. That's always a question because every time I think they're done with it, like, they go all in on it.
Yeah.
Like Valhalla had a lot of that.
Yeah.
A lot of it.
Yeah.
Under the surface and over the surface, however you want to put it. Like there's a lot of unfinished modern day stuff in general and with Basim. So
Yeah.
there's just quite a lot of Isu-ness that,
Well,
I wonder if they'll just, I have a feeling that'll be a lot of the side stuff.
yeah. I guess just hearing about this game, I don't have a problem with long games at all. In fact, I think it could be
of
good.
course.
It just depends if it's enjoyable throughout.
Exactly,
And I feel
Brad.
like Assassin's Creed is better when it's shorter usually.
Yeah.
Based on the old games. So this is very refreshing to hear about this game.
Because Valhalla, right, you would rinse and repeat.
Yeah.
After
Oh,
20 hours in Valhalla, go to town, do a bunch of side missions, kill your target, go just over and over. And it's like the combat was, and even the stuff was just the same over and over. So it really dragged on.
Cool.
Whereas I
Yeah,
feel like
this one's a
this,
little better.
yeah, and especially like I was just imagining in my head because I was talking to Grumbom about it, and he's like, "Oh man, I can't wait for it to come out." And he's like, oh, I can't wait for that first night I play. And I'm like, yeah, that first night I play, I'm not stopping until I get my assassin robe. And that's probably like 4 or 5 hours in the game.
Yeah, cool.
And then it's like, okay, you're already like a fourth of the way done. It's just, yeah. The length is encouraging. Characters, the stealth emphasis.
Yeah.
I'm just encouraged, Brad. There was also some like special move I used where it was like
okay.
like the teleport blink strike.
Oh,
they
sure,
showed that in the trailer.
Yeah, I get that.
That thing was crazy. Oh, and to refill that gauge, stealth kills.
Oh, that's
So
nice.
again,
Is that the only way to do it right now?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's cool. So they
yeah.
encourage you to do that.
Exactly.
That's very nice.
Yeah. So
I just have one final question. So,
Mm-hmm.
some of the past games, especially Valhalla, you have like a base or something you upgrade. Is there something
Yeah.
like that in this game that you know of?
they haven't said anything about upgrading anything, but you like
I assume you have like a home base though.
yeah, the Assassin Bureau or whatever. And then again, I just was like in such a rush.
Yeah, of course.
And then it was like crashed a bunch of times, sorry, but it did like crashed a few times. Everything else ran well, but it would just like crash. Cause again, it was streaming.
You're playing it over, you're
Exactly.
streaming it to you. You weren't
Yeah.
playing it like on a native thing.
Exactly.
Right.
So I was in a rush, but like when I was leaving the Assassin's Bureau, there had like the
Like a board.
board of like
Okay.
targets. I was like, I
Cool.
want to do that stuff.
Cool.
And then I went to open a chest, and that chest took currency that you get from like missions like that. So I was like, oh, that synergy, like, yeah.
Great. Yeah. Sounds good. Sounds refreshing. Sounds like they have a vision with this one more.
Totally.
So I'm in. Yeah.
I'm 100%
Yeah.
in. I cannot wait for Assassin's Creed Mirage coming out in October. If you like what you saw, head over to patreon.com/easyallies or even twitch.tv/easyallies and give us a like, give us a little bell ring because we're doing all this all the time.
That's right.
And, when Assassin's Creed comes out, expect full coverage.
That's right.
Nothing is true. Everything is permitted.
Do you think we need luck?